Season 2 of the Pat and JT podcast.
Oh man, I'm here at last. The best time, always gonna be the best. Come on!
Exclusively on the Parkville Network.
Well, all right.
402-403-9478. Love hearing from you guys, from whether it's text or your voicemail or on our Facebook page. You can see that picture of me with my underwear on my head, which is always fun. Doesn't embarrass my family at all. It's Pat and JT, which subsequently is our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter as well.
I don't know. As far as finding masks, since they put out the decree and it's not an order, it's just strongly suggested that, and in particular, just to kind of quell the firestorm that first came out, the masks, you only need to wear it when you're going to be around other people. So it's like when you're in your car or when you're outside,
You're good.
you're good. You're in your house, you're good. But if you're going to be around other people where you really can't avoid the 6-foot thing in particular, or if you're compromised at all, and you have to go out, as I was talking to my mom and dad about this, they've been really good. They've been behaving themselves. And kind of giving in, but mom still, she said that over at No Frills in Ashland, that everybody's really conscious and a lot more people are wearing masks, and she doesn't know where to find them. And so we happen to have a friend that's making some. And so we just put an order in to get some. A lot of people.
So they're on their way, Judy.
Yep.
They're on their way.
Next day or two.
Yep.
We'll get them hooked up. So I'll go throw them at her and run. And
Right. Here you go. Rock and roll. Just throw bombs.
Throw them on the deck and hope the cats don't run off with them.
Throw bombs. Or you throw it and a hawk comes down and grabs it.
Right?
And
Or those
it.
wild
Like,
turkeys.
No.
No. But I will. I'll get those out to her so they can. So I told her for now, I said, you just got to stay home.
Right.
So don't go anywhere give me a couple days. And I said, we'll get some, because you go online. It's kind of interesting. I saw a really interesting video about these masks. When you go to order them, if you order them online, you can get them. But somebody put a video out showing one mask, and they looked identical. They were both the paper disposable masks. And she put one on. She struck a lighter up in front of her face, couldn't blow it out. She put the other one on,
Gone.
blew it out. And you're not supposed to be able to do it. So you have to put 2 of those on to be effective. That's a good test.
That is a good test.
Just to know what's getting through the mask. So just a thought. If you're wearing the paper ones, if you're wearing the other ones, like the cloth ones, a good filter is a piece of a coffee filter. They take a coffee filter and cut off, like especially the folded ones, and cut off the bottom little piece.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of just like about big enough and put that inside the cloth ones. If you're using like a kerchief and you're folding it up and using it, the homemade ones,
cool.
put that in there as that extra bit of filter to be used. I saw that, and that was on a post. Can't remember what online magazine it was on, but it was from the CDC with some instructions in making homemade ones. So just the cloth is not enough. You need several layers, and then you still probably should put that filter in there too. Otherwise you're probably fooling yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you get this false
feel-
sense of security. And talking to, and this
Your
is
underpants included.
Right.
False sense of security.
Oh, I couldn't blow out a candle. Actually, I could blow out a
you
candle
can.
through those. Yeah. I have 19 eye holes in that thing. I don't know how that happens. But the winky pocket's great for the nose.
That's not the way it's supposed to. Your nose is supposed to be covered. Did you see? Oh my God, I hate to point. Not political. Chuck Schumer, there was a picture of him. He had his mask on. Wasn't over his nose.
Yeah. Well,
It was right under his nose and over his mouth and his chin. His chin is safe.
well,
His chin is marked safe. I just want you to know.
Their interns do everything else for them, so their interns maybe need to put their masks on for them.
I think they do, because it's like, everybody with a camera is just waiting for somebody to mess up.
How do you not know the freaking mask goes over your nose? Like, you are Chuck Schumer. You are around this it's all you're talking about is this, and you don't know that it goes over your nose.
And I'm sure too, I think he had it on more for effect, where he was outside.
Figured that.
But you know that the people around them, generally, they all get their temperature taken probably 3 times a day, and everybody's
sure.
already been tested, and the chances of most of them coming in contact, even though it freaks me out when you see a senator or especially the senators, I should say, that come down with it. Rand Paul, right? Mm-hmm. He had it.
Yeah.
The doctor. And he is now tested negative. But it's just like, how did that happen?
Prime Minister over in the UK, as we speak right now, in intensive care, and
he's stable condition now.
But still, that's still.
That was as of now, but yes, it was. It's true.
I mean, you hear that, and you're like, well, I mean, this is
Trudeau's wife,
right? I don't know, but
yeah,
and this isn't anything to do with your mom specifically, or my mom and dad specifically, or anybody's specific children. But when you're dealing with kids and you're dealing with adults, it's like you're dealing with the same group of people trying to get them just to stay freaking home because the kids don't understand it. The parents think they've been through everything and this ain't gonna get them. This not gonna get them. So it's like you got to handle them both the same way.
She gets so
like
defiant.
for the love of God, just take a knee.
There was a meeting. I'm going to tell a small tale. There was a meeting that happened in a group that my mom belongs to, and she decided not to go. And she told me about this meeting, but she wasn't going to go. And I said, "They're still having it?" And I was just shocked they were having the meeting.
Right.
And she said, "Well, yes." Like, duh.
Like, why wouldn't they?
Of course they're having it. And I was like,
What?
no, come on. What I asked was I think I have a genuine concern. They're still having it?
Yeah.
That didn't make any sense.
blow me away that they're
But
still having it.
She was just like, well, yeah. Because
Like,
I know. But the masks, at least she was actively looking online and realized that they were hard to find. And most places are sold out. As a matter of fact, like the CVS and stuff, all the things online in particular are sold out. You can go into some stores, but hit or miss. And most stores won't answer the phone to tell you what inventory they have.
Oh, I know.
When you try, and you can't take anything back. That's another thing.
They
right
did at the
now.
very beginning where they were really open and telling you if there was
they had
toilet
stuff.
paper in stock. But yeah, you can't take stuff back for a minute. So you got to make sure that
I think they said Target, April 15th would be the earliest they'll accept any returns. If you want, and I'm not even going to tell you what I had to buy. Anyway, but I got the wrong size, and it was a curling iron. Never mind. Anyway, my cat dropped mine off well, he didn't drop it. He kicked it off the counter in the bathroom, and it broke into 3 pieces. I've had this thing forever, and it's like when Grandma had the Nord refrigerator. And they were 40 years old, and it worked like just as a beast, right? This thing's going to last forever. I've had that curling iron forever. Not
gone.
No. That was right. And
then you go by the wrong size, and then you can't take it back.
Because it was like the 1-inch barrel, and I needed the 1 1/4 or whatever. What doesn't matter. I know it's petty, but it was laying around the floor right next to another pile of toilet paper because I forgot to take the toilet paper off the spindle because he loves to play in it.
Yeah. I'm not envious of that entire situation. I went through that with Jory for long enough, and I am not envious of that at all.
I don't know what brought this on. It's like he's getting really comfortable in the house.
It's the tuna.
I took the tuna away, and they're now on cat food.
You know what? Really good. See?
Yeah, and they love the wet cat food now.
Yeah,
so he follows me like he's like, it's like close talker. My cat would be a close talker if he was a person.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want you to touch him, but he stands right next to you when you're in the kitchen because he wants his food.
He wants his food. I told you that we when Molly had her tooth thing, gave them tuna. You can't little tuna, right? So that's obviously now, and we would give them their tuna on a little rug by the back door. So now, as soon as we walk in the house, both cats walk over to the mat, turn, and just look at us. Like that's their tuna mat.
Tuna.
It's the funniest thing. And we'll walk in the kitchen, and the cats will be doing whatever, and then sit on the mat.
Tuna.
Just stare. Like, no, dudes. No
My tooth hurts.
No tuna.
I swear my tooth hurts.
No tuna.
No tuna. Sorry. No tuna for
tuna
you.
for you. This morning, did you I got up ultra early this morning, not ultra, but earlier than I normally do.
Last night.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. And actually, you know what? I take it back. I got up early, but I didn't leave super early. But I left at a normal time when there'd be, traffic-ish. It was 7:15. Well, there was so freaking foggy.
I know. How could you tell?
That was the whole point. Is it was so foggy, and it was eerie because there were no cars around, and there'd be an occasional one. But then I've driven to our office how many times? 150, 200 and some, whatever. Sometimes multiple times a day. And I pulled in. I pulled into an apartment complex once, and then I'm like, wait, that's the Acura dealership. I gotta go one more. Then I went down, and it was turned right, and it was the Casey's. I'm like, this is scary. So I went the back roads through circles with my head out. It was freaky foggy.
Because I take Jack to his daycare, and I thought I went down 180th. In my mind, that's the way that I go down because I just like that. I hate driving on 168th. I just hate the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I hate it worse when there's actually traffic. So in my mind, I was on 180th, but I actually got off on 168th. Okay, those two roads are nothing like each other.
Yeah.
And so I knew what I should be seeing next, which should be Walgreens on the corner. Mm-hmm. But instead, it was a curve in the road and looks like a car's in my lane because I was going by 168th Street.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Just coming around that curve. And I'm like, whoa, I'm on 168th. Okay, wake up, pay attention. Because I seriously was going through stuff in my mind, and I usually take 180th, and I took 168th.
And you throw in the fog.
And then it was super foggy, and I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
It was really fun. It's kind of neat, though. It smelled good.
It super smelled good. We had the windows open all night last night when we were sleeping. Birds
super
singing
nice.
coming up. Yeah, love it.
Okay, so remember when we had Laura and Justin in
Yes.
to talk about their bidet?
Yes.
Or on, I should say. Mm-hmm. Update from Laura.
Oh, good.
She tried out the bidet.
I want to tell them both right now. I think about them every time I thought about you guys this morning in the shower. Setting number 5 on our handheld thing. I told you it's pretty
it's not
close to
the
this. It's the
same.
exact same thing. And I think about you guys
Now, you know what?
every day.
It's not at all the same thing. And wait till you hear why.
Okay.
She says, today is the first day of our school district's spring break. So Justin reminded me, and this was a couple days ago, right? Reminded me this morning, bucket list item today.
Oh, yeah, because she hadn't used it yet.
And he said, you said you'd do
right.
it. Fine, she says. So I did it to get it over with. And I didn't even have him nearby on the other side of the door like she said she would because she was going to freak
I wouldn't
out.
have either. No way.
He was working in his office on the other side of the house. And remember, they moved into the new place, right? So he's working in his office. Here's my review. I feel cleaner than using baby wipes.
Good.
It wasn't messy. I hit the target on the first try.
Good for you.
I don't
hit the target on the first
I don't
try.
want to think too long on why that might be. I've got skills.
Just, hey, when you hit a certain age, you just know where it is.
You know where
just
things
know
are.
where it is.
So we bought the $35 version that runs on water pressure and no temperature control. This is how it felt. Our water pressure is effective. No mess. But the cold, hello. Think about jumping into a non-heated outdoor pool and that initial shock.
Yeah.
But it's just in that one zone.
Oh, man.
See, that's where I said it was different because yours is temperature controlled.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic.
In the shower.
Yeah.
Minutes later, still not warmed up, but I feel super clean. Half the TP, just have to pat dry. Anyway, I'm a convert.
Good.
Who knows? The ice cube feeling might be a great remedy for the summer heat,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it might.
right?
And I know people that get up and take a less than, not even lukewarm, almost you would consider cold showers in the morning just to wake up because it makes them
feels
feel better.
good.
So maybe just getting up and you know, dousing your hoop and like 445 degree. Well, it's what it is.
So I wrote back to her and I said, oh my God. I said, you should absolutely leave that review on the company's website on Facebook
Yeah.
or on Facebook.
Because that's a real legit review. That's it.
She really should.
That's reality.
So she said, I love your idea of posting the review. She wrote back on their website on Amazon, and I will do that. Someday when I can retire, I'd love to have your company have a podcast, help us put a podcast together, her and Justin.
Okay.
No one would listen to it, but it'd be dorky, nerdy stuff. Anyway, just couple stuff. And all the things about why opposites attract. It could be actually very funny. Honestly, I would like that. Anyway, let's see, what else did you say? Oh, and I assumed to say, I listened to your podcast from a couple days ago, and you're talking about how your on-air name when first started out wasn't Jill Thomas. It wasn't. But it was still JT. And she can ask how that happened. I think it's a solid, yours is a solid name. Did your boss make you change it? Pat and JT always flowed so well. But I'm curious about the decisions with the initials. Just curious about those stories behind the air names. And yeah, my first on air was on a little classic country station, and I'm talking Hank Snow. Was a mainstay.
Yeah.
On the wings of a
Oh,
snow
my God.
white dove.
Couldn't do that.
I'll never forget that song.
Couldn't do it.
And so my name on air was Jessie Taylor.
It's pretty country.
Yeah.
That's
and I
super
even have a
country.
clipping from the paper because I did a remote broadcast at a Western store
Ooh, it's a pretty
with
big
Jessie
deal.
Taylor broadcasting live.
Oh my gosh.
And I told him, I got to get that so you can
that
see
is
it. Because I've still
awesome.
got, I found it the other day in my sewing basket. You know how often I get in that. Anyway,
Last time when you put the clipping in there 25 years ago.
but anyway, yeah, then I was doing I quit working on the station. Then I was just operating the board on the FM station. That was an AM station. And this was, the FM station was the station. I was running the board for somebody else doing a broadcast. He was going to call me something. And he couldn't call me Jessie Taylor for whatever reason. I can't remember what the reason was. So that's when he called me Jill Thomas because I didn't want to use my real last name because he was on Thomas Road in Phoenix.
So that's it.
That's how
Easy.
Thomas came along. And the joke was, thank God you weren't on Camelback because that's the road just north.
Jill Camelback would be hilarious. Oh man, I have a feeling you
Yeah.
may not be in radio right now. You may be
No.
on Stage A.
Oh, that was kept. Never mind. Anyway, thank you for asking, Laura.
I've never not been Pat, so I mean that's pretty easy. I was Sluggo for about 3 months, and
Were
then,
you really?
Yeah, I don't even know how they got that name, but
Who
yeah,
did that?
His name was Tim. His name was on the air was Tim Virgin,
Okay.
and he's in Chicago now. And
That's a great name.
yeah, Scott and I used to work with him all the time, and we were just enamored. He had a way. This isn't. I don't mean to be sexist or offensive, but he could walk in anywhere and point to any girl he wanted, and they would within 20 minutes be making out. And it's not even a joke. It is an absolute truth.
Well-
Scotty and I would walk around behind him, and it wouldn't even know who he was because we were on just the Edge at the time. Like the Edge was a good, nice station.
This is in the
but
90s.
a lot of ladies didn't listen to the Edge. You know what I mean? As a dude. So he'd just walk in and we'd be 10, 15 feet, and everybody has this friend where Scott and I would each have a cocktail and we would just tail Tim all night because it was an absolute
So the
show.
radio thing wasn't doing it for you. Because I'm
no.
going to say, because like in the 80s and 90s, and probably in the 70s for all I know, because radio, the whole disc jockey, the whole radio thing, in the 70s is when it kind of started. It's probably the 60s too. Because remember we used to talk to our buddy Brownie, and he talked about being in radio. It was in the 70s. That's when FM
Yeah.
radio and the rock and roll and all that stuff. And the guys on the radio became kind of celebrities in and of themselves because they had their own show. And no matter what, it wasn't just the morning show. It was the nights in particular. And you guys were on at night.
Yeah, we were on. This was before we started on the air together. This is when Scott would work.
Okay.
He worked at a. It was funny. That's how and Scott this guy
Season 2.
that guy used to work at a company. I think it was called like Imagineering, and would fix Kino boards. And so he'd do that all day, and then he'd come in and work the overnight because he wanted to get into radio so bad. So that's how and I knew him for 10 years before that. So we then on the weekends before we had our little night show dealie. We would just tail Tim. Like I was Tim's producer, and that was when I experienced somebody getting their Prince Albert, their wee pierced on the air. Like I had to commentate it.
God.
It was terrible, but it was. But yeah,
Oh
I don't understand. Like he was arrogant, but he was like, whatever, it is what it is, and he got it. And we still to this day, once a year I'll probably message him, and that's always gets brought up.
Yeah.
10 Lies was the name of the club downtown. 10 Lies. And we would go there. We'd be live every Friday night. The station would. And be like, well, here we go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just Tail Tim night.
No, I remember the guys that worked at this station when I first started. And it was just like, they were like magnets. I mean, it was crazy. And you watch their buddies. Nope, it was that guy.
Yeah, I don't
And he was-
understand.
And there was that I don't know. I don't know.
But it's even there's not even a radio thing, but even guys that are like Tim.
Well,
even
it's
Tim's
the same
the first one to say that.
personality, though, Pat. It's that personality.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. It's not because
Yeah.
even Tim's the first person to say he goes, I'm not good looking, but it's he carried himself with confidence. Girls liked it, and he acted like he couldn't give two
In the
S's
same way,
about
the
it.
same reason he did well on the radio.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
that same thing kind of that goes. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously. But that's interesting. But that's funny though.
Yeah, and then
And he
until
called you Sluggo, so that really helped.
Right. I don't even. Yeah.
Giving you no advantage whatsoever. Hey, Sluggo, come over here. Hey, ladies. Hey, meet Sluggo.
Sluggo's gonna get you some amaretto sours. Sluggo 6 sours, please. Thanks, Tim.
Oh my God. Let's see here. What else I have? Anything else? I don't think so. I think that kind of covers things right now.
Go on our Facebook page. We'd love to talk to you guys about anything we've talked about, whatever. If you've
Yeah.
tried a bidet, not a bidet, just get on our Facebook page. We will get to some text messages and voicemails in the next couple of days because they're coming in, they're rolling in. Obviously, you guys are bored. I don't know what you're bored.
What are you
quarantining.
doing? I mean, I saw there were a couple of people that I follow. Who is it that was posting? Oh, Chimside Lucky. On Twitter, he's posting these updates of he'd post 4 pictures, I guess it was on Twitter, and of what everybody's been doing. It's like all the activities that they're trying to come up with to keep everybody busy and occupied. And it's kind of interesting. It's just fun. It's just fun to see what other people are doing. And it's like you started with the puzzles, and now it's like screw the puzzle.
Now the puzzles are all bent and everybody's cussing and crying, burned.
Yeah, throw away some pieces. I'm done with this.
I'm done with the puzzles.
And so now they're moving on. I'm just curious what's keeping everybody.
This would be the second trimester of the quarantine.
Really, what,
3 stages?
fourth week.
Yeah, 3rd or 4th week. So hopefully,
That's not quite, but
I don't know, whatever. It's the same thing.
let's hope.
It's the same thing.
In trimester years, maybe it is.
I'm working every ounce of my 17 on my
Pandemic.
ACT. Yep. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Download it, subscribe. Our website's patandjt.com.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Parkville